And then Nancy and I will come around, and I'll ask you to do the Ujjayi breath that Nancy showed you last week. And if there are any questions, we can discuss it again. And if you haven't done the breath, or weren't here last week when we discussed it, you can work on that too. I might just repeat to you that the Ujjayi breath is considered so valuable because it aerates the lungs, because it unstiffens the lungs. As we grow older, they become much less flexible, therefore our whole breathing apparatus is impaired. They create a lot of endurance being with the Ujjayi breath, and use it as an exercise, or density, you might want to use it to use posture. How many of you missed last week? Let me just then quickly go through the Ujjayi breath. It's done at the back of the throat. You can sit up if you want to. What you do is, I don't even ask you to do the whole little routine about handling it. It might be a good idea to just do that together tonight. Just imagine for a moment that you're a very hot, dusty subject that will be hard to imagine, and you're panting. And you'll feel that the breath here is at the back of the throat. It will feel dry to us because we don't salivate the way animals do to us. So the breath, the Ujjayi breath, is going to be happening here at the voice box, right here at the base of the throat. What you still do is use the nostril, because nostril breathing is correct breathing, but you use them more passively. The breath is really occurring at the back of the throat, going up behind and up into the nasal cavity, and becomes much more efficient. You find that the breathing becomes extremely efficient and very helpful in all kinds of ways. I do it. And you can do it sitting, lying down, walking, anything. Do it anytime, before and after meals. On the yoga, you don't have to wait before you do them. It also makes the gaseous exchange between the oxygen and the carbon dioxide longer so that we can work more fully through the body and more effectively. It's marvelous for people with high blood pressure to do, particularly lying down. It's good for the heart because it dilates the vagus nerve which leads to the heart and brings rest to the heart. So if you know people with heart trouble or high blood pressure, this is the kind of breathing they can do lying down. It can be very beneficial, very helpful, and never harmful. One of the other reasons that it's never harmful is that you focus on the exhalation, on prolonging the exhalation. And the exhalation, when you are doing that Ujjayi breath sitting, should be about twice the length of the inhalation. But don't try to force it. It will slowly come, it will slowly evolve that way. Remembering always to never force the inhale. Never try to prolong the inhalation. That is the strength on the heart. You inhale as long as it is comfortable, there's no strain, then the exhale comes and that will take care of the inhale. It will progressively be longer, your inhale will be deeper, you'll clear the lungs more totally. So it's very important to remember about the exhale. Exhale in the sense takes care of the inhale. When you stop exhaling, breath comes in. You don't have to force or push it. Now the breath here at the back of the throat sounds a little bit like when you listen to shells and hear seashells, a kind of sibilant sound when you inhale and out preferred sound when you exhale, sort of like sa. The sound in which you have. Now, to do that, you need slightly to contract the glottis right here, the base of the throat. Exactly as though, and I always say it's very inelegant, as though you had a cold. I can speak to that at the moment, and I probably shouldn't dare do this, but I don't know what's going to happen. But you make a vacuum here as though you want, you know, if you cough, you spat, you've done everything, repugnant, you still haven't had a cold, you have stuff here, and you go. And finally, you sort of condense that stuff up and out. Well, the Ujjayi breath is not that revolting, but that's the place where it happens. So if you want to come close to me quickly, Nancy, would you let them hear you last week?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many others who come in didn't work with Ujjayi breath last week?
It wouldn't hurt to do the same thing over.
Well,
because you have such a
just for a moment.
unique way of explaining that.
Always when you do pranayama, and pranayama is when you separate the breathing from the exercise, which is not, it isn't that you do that all the time, but you decide this is going to be a breath exercise, it's not a movement exercise. And it's always done with first an inhalation and exhalation to clear the lungs. Then you start whatever the pranayama that you're going to do. There are many different kinds. So you're going to hear me take the breath in at the back of the throat, and then the exhalation. So you push the exhale down from the top, just as you did when we were talking about the whole breath, complete yoga. But there's more of a sensation. Just give me a second to breathe a little bit. It's best done with the hands in this position. The thumb and the first finger together. That's the seal of knowledge. This stands for the ultimate being, and this is for the individual being, and then linked together. And that, of course, brings immediately a move in the posture. That you're contacting more with the body, going beyond the self, and transcending the self. And the breath is like this. See how long the exhalation is. And the longer you do it, the longer the exhale, the same inhale. You contract what we call the abdominal belt when you are exhaling and get all the air out. So why don't we just do that together in a group, and then Nancy and I'll come around and listen to it and see if you quote have it. Any questions about it? If you sit in any comfortable position, I might add, we're going to go a little more deeply into Ujjayi breath next week. But one thing is that when you do pranayama, particularly Ujjayi breath, you never have the knees higher than the hips. That's why the lotus pose became so predominantly used. But just to sit cross-legged or however you're comfortable, just keeping the knees and come forward and come into a very erect position so that you're relaxed, but you're erect. And the chest can open and take your heel of knowledge. And you'll find that this brings the whole upper body into a very relaxed position. Take your tailbone to the floor. Make a third arm seat for yourself. Take a deep breath in, and let it out. Then breath at the back of the throat. come and listen. Let me make a couple of comments. Do not lift the shoulders. There's a tendency of feeling that you should take the shoulders up and down. You want the upper body to be in repose. So nothing interferes with the breath. So that you're very comfortable. Now what I'll have you do is all of you can lie down, do any kind of breathing you want, except through the mouth. And Nancy and I'll come around and ask you to sit up as we approach you, and we'll listen to your breath. If you've had it before and you know it, but you know our Nancy so that they won't waste that much time, but it's worth taking this much time for because of the value of the breath. Okay? All right. Good. On the inside, feel it? Yeah, right, okay. Right. Let's try that. Mm-hmm. When you do the exhaling, try not to make it too long. Don't stop. Just allow the breath to happen. And what you want is, particularly on the exhale, for it to be smooth. And sometimes when you tense when you do this, the breath comes out with sort of little staccato jerks. Okay? Can you feel it on the exhale? Good. You want to lift the breastbone, but not the diaphragm. The breastbone tends to drop, particularly when you exhale. I want to make, if you can, that distinction. Want to line down? Good, I don't know. You don't have to mention the name before. You just do that. All right, what I'd like you to do is to take a partner. And just for a moment, we're going to let ourselves feel the breathing. So once you take a partner, the only thing is probably all better stand, because you should be approximately in height. Okay? Approximately. It doesn't have to be any great match. And then you're going to sit down back to back. Okay, everyone have a partner. Okay. All right. Maybe the two tall men should be together. Okay, two tall men together, and your partners be together. Okay. Now who doesn't have a partner? I can be your partner. Okay. All right. One of you, let's both sit down, back to back. And you want to bring your tailbones as close together as you can, and then the whole spine. Now, what do you do with the legs? Anything that helps you stay firmly against your partner without pushing him or her over. Okay? So the legs can be straight, or knees up, or legs crossed, and then lock the arms. Just interweave the arms, and you'll feel how much you can feel the person's back. They think of the back as the forgotten body because you can't see it, and you only remember it usually or think about it when it hurts. Now you can feel the spine. What you're going to do is to discover that when you breathe through the spine. We think of breathing through the front of the body, but we also forget that the lungs go into the back, and the spine is part of the back. And so what we want to do is one of you is going to listen to the other one breathe, that's the breather, and the listener or feeler. And then you'll tell your partner what you feel. Now by that, you want to be sure that you're firmly together. And just see where in the spine do you find that the breath seems more shallow than others. Now, the person doing the breather, this is not an Olympic Games tryout. Just breathe normally. If you want to try it, try fine. Otherwise, just normal breath, just so that it's in and out through the nose. And don't try to just expand your chest out into the outer space, okay? Just a nice, easy breathing. Okay, so let's try. Take a breath in, then let it out. And down you go. You do the breathing. Tell your partner how to feel.
But yeah, I feel it starts down. And I can just feel it. Yeah, much deeper. Like
now
feel
it's not. Sorry, I usually bring material.
When you breathe, you don't feel it. Isn't that funny? But I can feel like I can't. New it kind of makes you
Most of you probably felt it strongly here at the start. All right. Some of you may have felt it up high. This is your typical women for some reason tend to breathe up higher than men. It used to be because women didn't participate in sports and things. It's begun to change now. But usually, again, what you'll find is men may not breathe well up high here, way up high, because, as I say, they tend to breathe deeper than the body. So you want to know where you need to improve the breath. I don't imagine that many of you found the breath as far as the tailbone. That's the last, and that is what we want to learn the most. We have the breath coming from as deep in the body as we can, without forcing. And how do we do that? By practice. Make deep breathing a practice. Do it every day. As I mentioned last week, I think 3 times a day, 5 deep breaths. Attach it to a habit so you'll do it. And just the more you do the breathing, and practice your jive. You can do it sitting, you can do it watching television, you can do it all when you're standing in line somewhere. There's nothing else to do. See if you can do it with jive breath. Nobody's going to notice. You're not going to look like you're just going to look less tired than somebody else. Okay? All right. So it's very important to work with the breath. Okay. Now I think what we can do is just, again, stay with your partner for a second. Sorry, you removed yourself. I get so involved with the breath. Nancy, rescue.
Oh. Want me to say this one?
Now we have another person.
Well, sure. Yeah, well, I can not do it.
Let's see. Nancy, why don't you work with her since she just came in? Okay. And I'll continue with you. And we'll sit back with her, sit toward each other. You're going to sit toward each other, cross your legs. Let me mention something about partnering, which I may not have mentioned enough. Partnering, many people initially resent it because they maybe don't have a partner at home that they can do things with. It's worth the right frame of mind, the right idea about why we're doing it. And we'll see later in the evening how to do it. Okay? All right. At this time, you're going to cross your legs, you're going to have your knees together. And then Nancy's going to rescue me because I can't do reversal. And what do we do, Nancy?
The same arm. So everybody has to do your right arm out.
Right arm.
Right arm. If you both put your right arm out towards each other, and your left arm around behind you, and you can grab.
Oh, yeah.
We don't get it.
Now, once you bring your spine, you cross.
And I get it.
Grab, there you go.
Oh.
She said same arm, but you want to grab opposite arm.
Firmly, so the spine is erect, and then pull on each other's hands and turn away from each other. And make a gift to the spine of a twist. The spine's not doing it. The arms are creating it. You never move the spine in the twist in the sense that it initiates the twist. And feel yourself lift and keep the breath going high. And then gently relax and pull back and breathe. And slowly come up and opposite side. Always breathe. Be sure that you're very erect before you do the pulling. Shoulder, back shoulder, move back. Chest, shoulder, front shoulder. Most head in the neck. Feel work on the abdominals. As well as the spine. And when you go into twist of any kind, you work the adrenal gland. And that is energy. And slowly come out. And just bring your hands on your partner's shoulder and just sort of leaning forward, pushing the buttocks back. And you put the chin in, head down. And just sort of centering after you sit with yourself. Okay. And now you can let go.
No, after.
Feel very good. This seems to be my night. I think this is class 2 or 3 instead of what it is. I'm going to ask you to stop again. One moment. I have to quickly talk to you about something called alternate rhinitis because it fits with something we'll do with every class. It really means that every 45 minutes to 2 hours or 3 hours, your breathing in the nostrils shifts. One nostril is working and the other is resting. And long ago, 6,000 years ago, the yogis found there was a correlation between that shift of the nostrils and the right and left side of the brain. And they began using it in many ways. Now, finally, modern science has begun to realize, and they say what the nose knows, you should listen to. And the lowly nose can really help reach the lofty mind. And the way it does it is that when the right nostril is what we call dominant, that means it's more open than the other. And you can check it in a mirror to find out. Breathe on the mirror, and the larger condensation will mean that is the dominant open nostril. And that depending on when you come in on that phase, it will last anywhere from 45 minutes to 2.5 hours. When the right nostril is dominant, it connects to the left hemisphere of the brain. The left hemisphere of the brain is the brain which is very good at reasoning, at logic, at mathematics. So they say if you want to balance your checkbook, try to do it when the right nostril is free. If you want to write a wonderful letter to someone, or a theme, or a poem, or music, you do the reverse. Breathe to the left, connect to the right, creative, intuitive, what we call higher self brain. They are now doing absolutely fantastic experiments with students, and they check and give students an exam which requires rationality and mathematics and so forth. When the correct nostril is open, and they do far better than when it is not the correct nostril. And when they have to write a theme, same thing, only in reverse. So it becomes a tool. And in yoga, we learn how to control that. We can learn to close one nostril and let the other one begin to open, and then we can change that rhythm. It's one of what we call ultradian rhythms in the body. There are many of them, where one section of the body, like the lobe of the sinus gland, may be more active than the other lobe at different times. All through the body, there are these different side things happening, so that it becomes a very important thing. They're using it, the yogis use, they found that schizophrenics, the right brain tended to, the right nostril and the left brain tended to overwork. In depressives, it's the other way around. And now they're using this breath work in psychiatry, doing it at very reputable places, not fringe places. So what we're going to do at the beginning of every class, we're going to lie on our right side, and we're going to clear our left nostril, and I'll show you how we'll do that. And you may find that you're in a phase where your left nostril is not open, and we're not going to stay down long enough for you to open it. It won't be a waste, because the reason we're doing this is that we're working doing a lot of physical things in yoga. But we don't want to forget that we're also working with the total self, with the other side of our being, the inner self, the self we're reaching to understand. And so this is just a reminder at the beginning of every yoga class that you're working with your whole self. Okay? And then next week we'll work with ways to have an actual way of sitting and working and doing what we call ultimate concentration. Okay? So let's come on to our right side. Any questions? I have material if anybody wants fascinated. Let's bring the right arm over the head and bring your right ear onto the upper arm. Now make a stretch out as though you're on a balance beam. So the body is completely in alignment. And push out with your heels as though you're making a pedestal, like a statue. And make sure that the whole body stays beautifully in alignment. Good. This is a very good way to start a yoga class in the beginning, to align with the body. I see some of you making nice corrections. As you lie there, you begin to feel it. Back a little bit more. Arm a little straight over. Now you're going to swing the upper arm over the head and take that palm down and have the other palm up, and they face in what we've said is namaste. And it again is a reminder, the highest potential in you is saluting the highest potential in me. So we begin to bring mind and body into the proper attitude for yoga. Bring the upper hand down and close your right nostril. Close the right nostril. And breathe through the left. Just close the left. Inhale and close the right nostril. Touch your right. Close the right nostril. Now when you do that, try not to push the nose out of alignment. Stop trying to have that septum deviating. Sometimes it helps press at the lowest lobe of the nose, the lowest part, and press in there to seal off that nostril. And have the feeling, make the connection that you're connecting with your right intuitive, creative brain. And that will be at work. All the time we work with the physical body in the posture. And then turn onto your back. Just stay a few seconds just to give you the approach that we want mentally. And come onto your back. And be willing always at the beginning of a yoga session to align the body. Repetition can be creative every time you do something if you bring freshness to it. So bring the hands to the top of the head, fingertips are slightly under the head, and push up and away with the elbows. Elbows and arms are parallel. You'll feel a reflex in the abdomen. You may want to firm the buttocks. As soon as you bring the head up, there's a reflex there. Whatever feel and can't exercise at all, just lifting your head in bed and work and help firm a little bit the abdominals before you take the head down. Open the elbows out to the side. Feel the chest open. Elbows are brought to the floor as much as you can, out like this. Drawing a heart center over, feeling space between the shoulder blades. Drop the elbows on either side of the chest. Make fists. Push with the points of the elbows into the mat. And gently and lightly just lift the upper body slightly, arching. Chin comes in. Neck elongates. Exhale. Push away the elbows and contract the buttocks and the abdominal. And then on another breath, inhale and exhale, and release the contraction, release the fist, and feel it falls back. Move into the mat. If it doesn't, you can bend the knees, bring the feet up a little bit, closer to the buttocks, on the floor. Thumbs under the hip bones, fingers under the buttocks, lift the buttocks slightly and move them toward the heels. Feel the back elongate. Feel it elongate. Good. And then push out through the left leg, left heel, and right. And you may want again, bring the knee, chin to the chest, and elongate the back of the neck. Inhale and exhale, both knees up into the chest. Hands under the knees initially, so the knees high up into the chest. And then hands pass just below the knees, without to the tailbone, and rock to the left, and to the right, and to the left, and take the left leg straight up and out and down. Move up to its heel from the left buttock. Grasp the right foot in your left hand. Bring it over into the right foot, into your left groin and drop the knee. Keep pushing out through the left heel, turning the left buttock. Bring that knee as much as you can toward the floor. If it does not reach the floor completely, or fairly completely, if you have a blanket with you or a towel, put it under the knee so that you keep the alignment of the pelvis and the spine. Massage the base of the toes with your thumb. Taking time to work on the feet. Then arms over the head and stretch. Feel the skin slither up on the front of the body and go down to the back. Stretch the arms, drop the shoulders, turn it in, neck long. Open the whole body, opening across the groin, low pelvis, upper body. Okay. We're going to turn it in a week into a standing posture called tree pose. Bring the arms down, knees up, foot rest on the left thigh momentarily, then bring the leg up and out, and take it out and down. Stretch out through the right heel for the right buttock. Bend the left knee, take the left hand into your right hand, rock the knee. See if it's easier on one side than the other. You may want to bring the hands to the hip bones and equalize the hips. Keep moving out to the right heel for the right buttock. Massage the foot. Both arms over the head and stretch. Stretch. Be aware of the skin, the largest organ of the body. Feel how the abdominals just come in without you forcing them. They don't become hard. And bring the arms down. Bring the foot so it stands for a second. Arms back. Other leg and then stretch it up and out and down. And let's bring the arms out to the side in a T. Turn the palms up. Feel an opening rotation of the armpit. And let's bring the knees up into the chest. You can bring the arms in for a moment and just bring those knees so they nestle a little closer up to the chest. And take the arms out to the side, and remember that when we're going to drop the knees to the left, we switch the hips slightly, a little switch to the right, so that you're going to save the spine. Then on an exhale, just really, really gently, let the knees rotate to the left, up toward the armpit. Right shoulder blade stays down, head rolls gently looking out into the right hand. Hold and breathe. The right shoulder keeps wanting to come up. Use the breath. Let the breath focus it into the mat. Then on an exhale, take the leg straight out to the side. Take you as much as you can up toward the hand, but not forcing out. You may find that you want the head centered rather than turned to the side when you stand the leg. It's a question of what feels good for you. And breathe. And let the body feel the wonder of twisting the upper body one direction and the lower body in the other direction. You won't be able to do that when you're sitting up and standing still. Breathe in. Now bend the knees to come back to center. Center yourself. Feel the tailbone very centered. And then take the hips to the opposite side from which you're going to drop them over. So you protect the spine. And then drop them over to the side, easily, gently, to the opposite side. Good. Let it be nice, snaky. Really take them over. And breathe. Good. Holding. And then stretch the legs straight out to the side, and up slightly if you can, not forcing. Now you find that the upper foot does not extend quite as far as the lower. So bring your free hand into the hip of the upper leg, bring thumb into the joint, and make space in the joint, and then allow that foot to move slightly forward. And breathe. Bend the knees and come back to center. And drop the feet down. Next, the butt. Knees into the chest and rocking. And off. Massage the back. And bring one hand on the right knee and one on the left. And rock up to sitting. And take your thighs. I have you come up to sitting in case you don't all have a tie, but you come up to take them. Good to take a tie and a rice bag when you enter each time. Alright? And let's lie down, and we're going to work with leg lifts. Extend the left leg, turn the out, begin to feel, turn the right better. Bring the tie under the ball of the right foot. Hold the tie, and both hands are one, then twist that way. And letting the tie be as long as you need it to take the foot up. Now let's just easily just lift the foot up a little bit, keeping the knee slightly down, and pushing against the tie. Keeping that left buttock firm, and also keeping, if this is your right leg going up, the right side of the tailbone firmly into the mat. Borders of the shoulders are even. Now gradually pushing up against the thigh. And lifting and moving into the heel, pushing out to the heel. Breathe. Other arm can rest along the side of the left leg or out to the side. And push up. Now if the leg does not want to go straight, bend the knee, and you feel relief into the tailbone. Tailbone is bent. And then again push up against the thigh. Stretching, breathing. And again, bend. And come up. Good. And enjoy the stretch. Focusing on other parts of the body other than the hamstring can help you take your mind off the muscles that may be making some slight protest. Breathe. Lifting. You may want to take the leg out away from you a little bit, and elongate the tie a little, and kind of stretch into the heel. That's good. Breathe. Feel as though the breath were just taking that leg up to the ceiling. Let it soar. Let go of the tie a little longer. Let it be a little longer. That's good. Beautiful. Breathe. And slowly bring the leg back. Other side. Bend the knee. Tie around the ball of the toes. And going up gradually, letting little movements alert the muscles if you're not going to be harming them. Have the tie under the ball of the foot, not the center of the foot. or else you'll have to tie right on a place that will create tension. Tension up into the leg. Breathe into it. See if one leg is more amenable than the other. Make sure the extended leg is extended straight out from the body and that you're flexing the heel. Breathe. You turn the legs slightly out. When I say slightly, it is microscopic. Keep the breath flowing. Keep it flowing. And slowly come down. Exhale down, bend the knee. Knees into the chest. And drop. And then just turn over so that you can come up on all fours for cat pose. I try to incorporate even a moment in cat into all of my practice. Because what it makes me do is to pay attention to what the spine can do. So that I just begin to move it around and begin to realize that there are just limitless ways to move it. There are 8,200 asanas in yoga, all of them somehow working with the spine, so it becomes central to what we do. If you sit back for a moment and just look at me, I'll show you how I want you to think of the spine. Don't ever let yourself think of it as a rod through the body. It is good. It's magic. It's really good. So that it helps us to have images of what's going on in the body. So the body and the mind and create a language. Okay? All right. So let's come back into that. And we're going to go right into lunge. So bring the right foot forward. Step on the back toe and push away so that when you finally turn the toes under, you will not get a cramp. You always separate the fingers so that the hand should, the weight is distributed. And the knee is absolutely 90-degree angle. Do not let it go forward nor come back. This is protection for the knee as well as making sure you have a long stretch. Stretch back with that long leg. Stretching the long psoas muscle, which is the muscle that enables you to walk. But unfortunately, some of the things we do that are the best for us, like walking and running, make it tight. So we want to keep stretching that, because when it is stretched, then we tend to get that problem. Visualize the lunge as starting from your hara, from low in the abdomen, from your center. So that's the energy that moves back. Take the leg back. And make that point between the front foot and the outside of the front foot and the inside of the back foot. Stretching. Turn the toes under. Come up on the fingertips. Then we'll do a variation of the twist by bringing my right foot is forward, bring my my right hand under my right leg and holding my left arm just above the elbow. And then I bring by body against the arm without letting the knee go forward, and you'll feel more stretch on that right at the groin of that extended leg. That's where you want it, that's where we're so tight. Good. And the shoulders pull back, open across the shoulders. Head just sort of escapes from the spine like a sword out of the scabbard. Neither dropping nor hyperextending, just elongating the spine. And then come up and retreat back. I see some of you going nicely into back extension. It's wonderful to do. Do that. Movement from your center. Always moving from the center out. Center at the heart, center at the heart. Left arm about the buttocks. Shoulders back. Bring the palms down. And this time left hand under, palm under the left leg. Hold the right arm above the elbow. Move and two. Get with the body and pull on and the toes up the feet. There. Up the tailbone slightly under. So you're protecting the low spine. Move. And come. Again. Yes, always keep. Long step. And come up. Now right foot forward again. Left leg back. And we're going to rock the foot full on. Stay on the back toe. Back back. Ensure the front knee is in position. Come up on the back toe. Straighten both legs. Bring the head towards the knee. Shoulders drop. Push the back heel towards the floor. You can't straighten both legs, you can come on your fingertips. Rock down, knee comes to the mat. Come up on your fingertips, lift up into the line. Watch the knee, then let it go forward. And again, rock back. Rock back. Heel towards the floor. You're supposed to kiss the knee. Yeah, go ahead, safely, okay? And rock the knee, and out into the lunge. Yeah. Horizontal, and then up, but not hard. Rock once more. Straighten the legs. And come down. And let's go again. Constantly moving the spine. I should say the body moves the spine. Let's do it on the other side. And the foot between the hands. Leg back, nice long back, nice long legs, easy. Step on the toes first so that you go way back, otherwise you're going to be stingy. Good. Alright. If you're tall, come up on your fingertips so you don't feel as though you're all scrunched together. Good. Alright. And now you can turn the toes under. And stay on the line. Stay on the line. Good. Good. Everyone up on your fingertips. Lifting. Good. And sit back. And move into back. Slowly come back, up, in position. position. And up on your back toe and rocking. Raising the legs. Drop the shoulders. Elbows knee down. And rock forward again. Up. Make it a rocking movement. Watch the knee, watch the front forward. Don't let it. Back again. Up. And one more time. And forward. Knee to the floor and lift. And sit back into this time into pose. That's the knee. And slowly. Okay. And have your try. You may guess that we're working right now. We're going to move into the first sitting forward bend. Forward bends are among the most difficult to do in yoga because we have a misconception of what we should be able to do. And we always want to stretch further than we can, and we misuse that. People will say, I can't do a forward bend because my back is too stiff. It isn't so much the back as it is the hip. The hip and the work of the hip with the abdominals. Once you get those working, then you'll find that the back is going to follow, because mainly when you do a forward bend, you're working with the front of the body. You're working again for the strength of the pelvis. So that we're going to work with a half forward bend called down into the top. That means in Sanskrit head to knee, and it's been completely misunderstood because people assume it meant this. And the worst thing you can do it first. It means you're pulling from here. You're contracting so the breath can't work. Contracting the shoulders, which you don't want. What the translation should have been was head over the knee, the ankle, towards the ankle. So when you go into the toes, you bring it out of the side, and you focus on the front of the body. And when I come over, I'm going to have the feeling that I'm lifting my whole torso over my hip, and my buttock is going to move back. So this is the feeling. I lift up first, extend, have the spine, front and back spine. You have a front and back spine. Both lift. And then you're going to come over. You're not going to do this initially. So what happens gradually? And you come over, and you begin to come forward, and you flatten across the shoulders, not round, but flatten. The arms come out, flatten, and you come into the pose of back action. Now, here we come to we come to something called satya. Where are you, satya? On the top. Just that chart on the arm, left, right. Is it over here? No. I thought I just saw it. Yes. Am I not seeing something? No, that's satya. Satya is S-A-T-Y-A. And it means truthfulness. When you are practicing satya, I'll have that chart up. As you practice satya in a pose, it means you keep staying pose. Now, if I decide that I'm going to do this posture, and I'm determined I'm going to really get far in it, I'm really going to get it, and the teacher's not looking anyway. And so I let the knee come up a little bit, just now, just a little, and I come up, and way over here. And there's nothing. The pose is a nothing. Nothing happens to the body, you create nothing, and you fool no one except yourself. So, we want to be, the other word is santosha. We want to have contentment wherever we are, no matter where we are in the pose. That is what's correct for us. So when you do a forward bend, if you start to come over and your back runs like this, everything coming in, staying tight, you've gone too far. You may find that for you, a forward bend is here. And we find an angle here, not facing. This is a beautiful forward bend. Beautiful forward bend because it's honest. You know, do as much for your body as someone, or do more than someone doing this right, but as much as someone who can go further. And that gives you time also to feel how far can I go? What's my body allowing me to do? Okay? So that's how it works. So have the tie next to you. And you move into the pose. We say you move into the pose as if you were preparing your home for a guest. You don't just plunge in, break down the door. Okay? So you pick up the left knee and you massage. This leg is nicely extended. Look up and massage a little bit, and then bring the heel right into the ceiling. And then hug the knee and push out to the heel. That's our bumper sticker. Maybe hug your knee today. What you have, your spine's going to be erect, your chest is going to open, your shoulders are going to drop, and your abdominals are going to move in place. Beautiful pose. Then you drop the knee and bring the foot not just to the thigh, but the heel right into the groin. The foot is alongside the thigh. Then you want all the parts of the body to help each other. So you put one hand into the calf of the bent knee, and you pull the flesh out, and this way, in two directions. You'll find how the knee goes nicely to the mat, and the hip is released. Don't worry if your knee doesn't go all the way down. If it does, put a towel on it. Put your blanket on. Okay? Think of the blanket or the towel as part of yourself. Okay? Now you do the same thing over here. You get the buttock, and on this side, you pull outwards with the calf. And when you go over, you want to have a visual image that you're moving the pelvis over, as though you're going to put the navel right on the middle of this leg. Taking it over. And then you make space. You want all the time to make space in the body. Crunch it up. Make space in the pelvis. And then, in the thigh, and find out what is the right forward bend for you. There are several ways, there's 25 ways to doing it. Some of you may find that you want to lean back a little bit and lift. When you bring the elbows out, you're going to be sure that you flatten between your shoulder blades, which is what you want. And just see what's good for you. You may want to move back a little bit and come forward and find that edge. You want the head and the neck to be relaxed. Finding your edge. And that's it. And I want you to open across the shoulders and use your breath. Open the breath and move from between the ears. And inhale and keep. Good. Now, the foot extended foot, you must push into the heel, and I wouldn't wrap it around. If you don't need the towel, that's nice, very nice. Open here, not or tighten. Give it a twist, and then put it in between the shoulder blades. Flatten. And to listen to all parts of the body. It can take you where you want to go. See? Feel the difference? Good. That's the right side. Good. And open. And forward. Good. That's nice. Good. Three. Hold firmly. You want to hold wherever you can so you get leverage, rather than just letting the hands be passive. Good. Breathe into it. Move the spine into the body. Move the spine in. Aha. Good. Breathe. And slowly come up, and we'll come to those that we haven't come to this time on the other side. When you come up, and shake out the feet. Shake it. And let's go to the other leg. Okay? Up the opposite leg. Up. Slide it in. Now you can add one other thing. Get the heel close to the sitting bone and bring the fists here and from here, this slide forward, and that will get your heel right into the joint. Let's cut that in first. Open up, and this knee stretching up and down, opening, and begin to work. Remember to push up to the heel of the extended foot. Breathe. Use the breath to take yourself over. everyone been touched? Anyone who wasn't? And slowly come up. And shake the feet out. Now, one of the reasons we hold the posture is also to see what happens in your mind. You have time to observe whether you're willing to do the posture, whether you're fighting it, or whether you're thinking, when is she going to let us get up? Whatever the thought is, observe it. And that's part of it. Now let's move quickly into what we call plank pose. Let's have the hands shoulders apart and take the feet back as far as you can. And bring the weight forward, open across the shoulders, lift the back of the knee. Hips lift also, but not up into a V, and don't for any reason sink. You're going to sink up. Hold. Again, the head comes straight out of the shoulders, like a turtle. Weight comes forward. Forward. Good. Good. Lift the back of the knees. Good. This is off the bottom. Just squeeze it. Okay, don't lose it. Good. That's good. Very nice. Good. That one was good. Really good. Lift the front of the body under the lumbar. That's the mid-spine. Very more. Good. Really good. And sit back. And shake off the spine. Then we want to take the body in the opposite direction. Into what we call incline pose. Both of these poses are going to work strongly on the ankles, on the feet, on the shoulders, on the arms, on the hips. As we move into different poses, we'll discuss more the specific benefits. Some of them are going to work on glands and organs. This can be done with the hands facing away or facing toward you. In the beginning, it's easier to have the hands face away. You're going to turn the toes in slightly, and the legs are going to turn in slightly. You don't want the knees and the thighs to turn out. And you slowly come up and point the shoulders to it. And you hold. And I want you to hold here. I'd rather you come down here and watch me. It's going to be very important for the neck. Come up, lift, let the hips lifted, back of the knees again. Now, if you can bring the shoulder blades together, and you don't have a sore neck, head can come back. Now, how do you come down? Head stays back. Body come down. Slowly come down. Head is still back. Walk the hands in. Head is still back. Bend the knees. And slowly come forward. That's how you protect your neck. Okay? Let's do it together. Toe in slightly. Hands behind you. Good. Going in. And lift up. And lift. Once again, be sure the lumbar is not sagging. Lift the chest. Have the whole energy of the body moving up into the chest. Only take the head back if you're confident that you can make that little nest of the shoulder blades together to take the head back. If you have any problem with the neck, don't do that. Not now. Breathe. Coming down. Head back. Slowly let the seat down. Walk the hands in towards the hips. Head stays back. Head stays back. Head stays back. And slowly coming forward, bend the knees, bring the foot soles together into the pose called Shiva Shakti Asana. Shiva is the male god, Shakti the female energy. They come together in the pose. This is a restorative pose, not a struggle pose. Don't let the head drop too much like a broken lily. Let it more come right out again, out of the spine stretching forward. Unless you can bring the head down into the cup of the feet. And slowly come back. Is it possible to stay long enough to do one posture? Certain posture, or do you want to need to go? Okay. Is it okay with most of you? Okay. Then let's quickly do this. Have a partner. One sit with the legs extended off. The other one stand in front of your partner. The other one stand in front of your partner. Okay? Alright? Size doesn't matter. You want to be, it doesn't matter at all. Okay. Can you be a partner here? Now, everyone has a partner? Okay. I'll show you here what you're going to do. You're going to stand over your partner like this. I mentioned the difficulty of a forward bend. We're going to use a partner to do a full forward bend, both legs forward. But we're not going to just plunge into that on our own. And I'm going to take either her wrist, or your wrist is not sore, her wrist, or if his wrist is sore, you take the upper arm. I think we can all do this together. Okay? Let's take that position. And then you're going to ask your partner to inhale, and you're going to lift them up a little bit. Lift them up. Now exhale, and just let yourself drop back a little bit. Exhaling. Now partner, standing. Bend your knees and lift the partner up and forward. And bring the hands down to wherever you can reach. Doesn't matter where it is. Person doing the pose, clasp wherever it is. Hold. Good. Now let your partner for a moment stay in the pose. Partner doing the pose, let's take a minute and take it up. Up. Now come to the left side of your partner. And let them just release into the pose wherever they are. Thank you. I haven't gone to top pose. It's easier, isn't it?
To do the backward part?
Oh, let me stay with that. Okay. Right hand to the top of the neck, vertically facing the neck. Maybe not your right hand, but your upper hand. Lower hand into the tailbone. And very firmly but gently press forward with the upper hand and down toward the floor with the other hand. Stretching the spine. Stretch it. Then stand behind your partner. Have them lift up and bring their arms up. Take your wrist or their arm and let them move against you so their back is supported, and then stretch them up. And out to the side. And down. And bring your hands into the base of the neck and give a little bonus. And change it.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, stand over your partner at least 5 minutes, 3 to 5 I'll say, of lying in what we call Shavasana. The only way you'll incorporate all of the body's learned into it and feel it in. So if you know that you only have 20 minutes,